Tech, I'm just gonna ask: were you guys in the studio together? Was this a here's the song, jump on it?
No,
How did it work?
we were actually in the studio together. What happened was we were trying to get Burner a song for a very long time, and one day someone from his camp, PD, shout out,
Yeah, I
called
was with
me.
PD yesterday, actually.
Okay,
Yes.
that was it for a while. But yeah, he called me and he was like, "Look, come to the studio right now. Now he's here. We'll trap him." So I literally get there, like, because we've been promising each other to work on music for a while. When I got there, I was like, okay, now we have to actually do this. So we did like about 2 or 3 records together.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
fantastic because I know exactly how that feels.
Yeah.
How what
Come
feels?
now.
Trying to find
We'll
Burner.
trap him.
Lagos, let's listen to it. This one is called Legend, and it only makes sense because there are a couple of legends on this song. Keep listening. Welcome, James.
Thanks, man.
Bele, was yours too?
As in,
We appreciate
traffic,
you.
mad.
Thank you. I heard.
Crazy, man.
I heard.
Who's this? FBS.
Ah,
FR.
okay, yeah. Sure. So she was around, or you guys did it in Ghana?
It was actually some we were meant to do with her together.
Ah,
She just freestyle some. She didn't really do anything. She just freestyle some stuff on it, and then we just kept it on the track.
It's definitely palm wine music. Okay.
James, moving a little, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's a boy to a legend? Fake friends with no back then.
Okay. Let's go in.
Through with my bread.
Studio.
More boys.
All right, there you go. Show them camp. This is Legend. It features Burner Boy. If you are up on YouTube, you would have caught the little question that Oris asked, which I'm sure he's going to ask again on air. So I'm not going to reveal that. But listen, the song is a bit legendary. Hey? That's how I feel. But Oris, what are your thoughts on the song in general?
yeah, I kind of like the film, and I was asking Wally earlier, who exactly was that lady doing that thing? Scat singing or some sort.
Shout out Efia, an amazing vocalist from Ghana. I even feel like bad that we only use those parts of her vocals. She's super amazing.
Effie is musical. If you're just around her, that's how she just tends to vibe.
Yes.
They're the sounds she actually just makes in real life, and they are delicious to hear. You're like, what? You're just proud. That's all I'm singing. We've also got James Silas in the building. He made it in. James, thank you for
Morning,
beating the
Lagos.
traffic. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Try.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So here is Legend. I want to know, what do you think about this song?
Oh, I thought it was a beautiful song. Yeah, I like the beat, and it's still that's a palm wine music. you
Yeah.
know. I mean, in my wildest imagination, I'd never thought of a show them camp collaboration with Burna Boy. I was, sometimes I just try to think from their vibe perspective to say, if we blend them, how will this sound?
How will it sound?
So yeah, so this one was quite interesting to hear. Of course, if for a promotional single, I would have loved to hear the rest of them if I was part of the team, and then maybe that will inform which song I want to put out. I don't know if this one would have worked it, so but
Sorry, I
Okay,
feel like
Oris
I
is
know
just
the
like,
I know the exact song. That should be the first single, actually.
Okay, which one?
Tropicana with Flash.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
that is the song that really needs. Wally, you have to do this. Do it for everybody.
But Tech, I know that when you were sending stuff to us, you did send us.
Yes, Tropicana.
Yes,
yeah,
you
because
did.
so what I did was I waited for a little while just to see what the fans were gravitating towards, and Tropicana is the one that's been getting the most the most traction and the most heat. And similarly Legend, and there's another track on Mologo called Ragabomi as well.
yes.
System Phil, so Amadi. So it's actually crazy because we've tried to see which one, which of the songs out of like 9-10 songs, and people keep picking like 5, and then the other ones, they're not really single type songs, but they too have been getting a lot of love as well. So
Okay, Lagos, if you're wondering, this is off the project that's just come out, Palm Wine Music 2.
Yes.
And I was just telling Tech that before he came into the studio that I'd actually listened to Palm Wine Music 2 as soon as it dropped, or just before.
Right.
And my brain wasn't in it. It didn't engage with me. And that was very personal. And I realize now as I'm listening to it again that I think I've just come from a very hardcore rap season,
Mm-hmm.
from all the Chalk City stuff that came out, and then Pose Project,
Yeah.
and so on. I was like, this sounds like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
No.
You've washed
No,
your,
this-
you've washed your mind and your
Yes,
ears.
so
and-
I think I needed almost a separation from it to come back to it, to start picking out what the gems in the album were. But Maurice is he's still thinking that. It's okay, we'll come back to your
You know?
thoughts.
Fair enough.
We'll come back to them. We've got more new music to listen to as well. Somebody else who you do work closely with, Tech Fumbi, is up here. He's also got a new project out. It is called Serenade. And that is the song we've chosen to listen to this morning here on the Grapevine. So if you haven't heard it yet, you should go check it out. And there's a little teaser as well, which we'll be talking about. So here's Serenade by Fumbi.
Speaking of Fumbi and SDC, you guys do like such amazing stuff together. Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you guys are just, I don't know, friends, whatever it is. You guys just have to keep it going. You guys had like an EP or something. You know, you guys, Fumbi and Tommy Thomas. I feel like
Yeah.
that would be just fantastic.
Collective now.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, the collective album I thought was very, very good. There was this song, the one with Fumbi, two of them.
There's also Budge. Budge is also, I like that whole collective.
What's the name of the song? It's talking on the third track on the collective album. Hold You Down, or is it Kiss the Fire or something?
Yeah, I guess
There's a part where Tommy Thomas comes in towards the end.
Okay, no, that's Hold You Down.
That's Hold You Down, right? I'm like, wow, this is like the track. Oh, that's okay. That's your favorite. Also. You're the one on it, not Ghost, right? Ghost not on that one.
No.
Okay, no, but are you on it? Are you on that song? So nice. Was it planned, this whole stuff, all of you like doing stuff like we're doing weeks together, so to speak?
A little bit, to be honest with you. I think everybody's been working for a while. Like, so for this project, has been working on it for like maybe since like last
Alright
year.
guys, we're back in
Timing.
studio. Yes, you are listening to Smooth 98.1, and you should be on your way to work, not snuggling deeper under the covers. Those of you considering not leaving your wives right now, I think that you really do need to and get to work. But you're listening to the sounds of Fumbi in the
tough
background there with Serenade. I know, imagine if it just started raining now. It's game over for a lot of people. There's no productivity happening for the rest of today. But yeah, I want to know, guys, what are your thoughts on the song? He's finally come out with a bit of a project for us to listen to. And there's a teaser as well. I'm sort of waiting for full videos too. Your thoughts, James?
I mean, it's like something I've been waiting for. So I'm a big Fumbi fan. I love the texture of his voice. I like his music. This one is very, very different. It's a lot more. The tempo really went down on this one. So it reminds me of those. Sometimes you just feel like coming from this our terrain of bang bang ding ding bang bang ding. This sort of just calms you down, And I'm really hoping that Fumbi's there's the fan base is actually paying attention to Fumbi in terms of even in return of Naira and Kobo, But it's beautiful music. If you want to settle down, if you want to listen, if you want to sort of call in and say I'm sick, it's raining.
I can make traffic.
This is like avoiding work song, right? Avoiding work.
Imagine playing it as background music for your boss while you give an excuse. Not coming to work.
We're never coming back to that work. That is if I'm the boss. But yeah, Fumbi, I'm a huge Fumbi fan. I think he's fantastic. But I also think I'm not really sure about this song yet. Okay. I have to say that. I'm not sure about this song yet.
Why is that?
I think I've just listened to a lot of Fumbi songs, especially over the collective album, which I had to listen to because I had to write about the collective second one. So I had to listen to the first one again. I remember the first song, the one with Poe, Adore Her.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, exactly. So I listened to that. I listened to the one. He has like 2 or 3 songs on the single on the collective project. He has a song with you guys. So I'm just like, so in a sense, maybe because the tempo of the songs are like faster, sense, and Fumbi does fantastic work when he has that mid tempo So slowing feels like I'm not quite sure
So
what's
is it
happening.
new, so maybe it's a new feeling for you? Is that what that
Yes,
is?
it's it really it really could be that because like I said, I'm a huge Fumbi fan, and I think I mean it's a good idea. He has I Want It Back from the collective album on it as a bonus track because
Yeah, no,
see
listen
that's
to
what
the
I
whole thing,
think.
for sure. And it's also an album that is a journey. So it talks about the initial stages of a relationship,
Oh,
meeting somebody, serenading the person.
You say serenade, that's to
voodoo,
be
like,
sweet.
So it's a concept. It's a concept project.
so there's a bit of narrative going on with it.
Yes.
I see, I see.
Okay, okay, I like that.
See,
I
this is
like
why
that.
we should have albums that have album notes.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
there's
there's
good
liner
arguments
notes in
for
those
that,
days, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Lagos, we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we will continue this conversation. SDC in the building, Tech is here.
Yes.
We've also got James Silas, and we have Oris joining Valentine and myself.
Folu?
Yes, so do keep listening to The Grapevine, which is brought to you by Verve.
Music to you.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Music to me.
I think I control it from there.
Be my guy.
No, you should be able to know. This is X-Life. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. But,
Meanwhile, can I keep this?
yes, you can. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, welcome.
No mention, please.
Yeah.
Have you listened to the song Shei? How's that?
I haven't listened to it yet. That's what I was saying. I haven't actually sat down and listened to it. I just got it on my Apple Music. So I'm going to sit down and listen to that.
I mean, I think the one with Efia should just be great. I really want that, but I haven't listened to it. I feel like I
It's
listened to
there,
that one.
there's some people that I hear music and I know I'm going to like. I know I will like Shay Shay's music. I know I will like
Anytime,
Effia's
any day,
music. I
anytime,
know
any
I will
day.
like Burner's music.
Anytime, any
Like
day.
it's, so when I see those combinations, I'm like, well, it's cool. It's cool. Which is excellent. Are we gonna see videos coming out from Palma Music anytime
Yeah,
soon?
very, very soon actually. Yeah, so we're shooting 3 videos: Tropicana, Legend, and Damilon.
Okay.
Oh, that's Adibota.
Nice. Wait, do you know which is gonna make it out first?
I'm not sure. We're shooting all of them like back to back, so it just depends on. I think it might be Tropicana.
Okay, okay.
and Then from there,
Are you getting much sleep during all this shooting activity?
no.
Are you
And I don't
working
get
both
much
front
sleep.
and back of
I
camera?
don't get much sleep anyway.
Yeah, yeah. It's
But I
it's our
travel
life.
for a while and then I get my sleep.
Yes. Okay. Flight gang.
Ghana, I'll never even do flights.
It doesn't matter. Just leave your workspace and then come back in. That's
Funny,
what
your
you
workspace
need.
is the whole of Lagos.
That's the thing, because when you're around, you're around. There's no how you'll be dragged into something. There's something for you to do. When you're just not available, you are just.
But any pop-up shows like the first one?
Yeah, so we have we're doing this year. We're doing because we have a festival in December.
Okay, I heard about that.
Yeah, so we're putting that together right now. And then we've got one pop-up show between now and then. Yeah, but more of the pop-up shows are gonna be next year because like the last one we put it in June, so we had like a long run up to December.
Okay.
So this one we haven't got that much time to time.
All right. Good stuff. Amy Campbell. We have to talk about traditional rulers visiting. Because
I'm from Edo State
in
anyway,
their
so yeah.
feels. People were in all their feelings about it.
That was funny.
Yes.
I think it's funny.
Well, I mean, come on, man.
I think it's tragic.
It's funny.
Well, it's funny.
It's a tragic comedy. Still
Yeah.
a comedy, bro.
You know?
Oh, well.
It's a tragic comedy. But that's how I felt with Macron, even more so than this. At least this, I'm like, okay, cool. We have affiliations with, the empire. Yeah, it's not all great, but that makes sense. Macron should have put everyone was like, oh my God. I was like, do you know French policy in West Africa? It's disgusting. Like, no. They're like, oh, he's doing such great things. He's fine. I'm like, he doesn't give 2 flying Fs about you. Like, just none. Anyways, we're in. Oh, this is Maka. Wow. Studio, mics are up. Listen, I didn't know that happened. I didn't
neither.
know that was a thing. That was
It took us by
missed.
surprise.
Look,
I thought they were still talking. I mean, I didn't even know you had come up already.
No,
It's part of it.
that was
okay.
missed and Chef Jeff's. Okay, thank you guys. That was beautiful. If you're listening to us, you're welcome to The Grapevine. It is brought to you.
My verb.
And in the studio with the Grapevine gang today, the gang being Silas and Oris, SD, one of 2 parts. you go. Tech is here. Bringing already.
Yes, we have this one from King Davis from. Okay, so Caesar
Caesar.
says a big shout out to SDC. I really love the song with Burna Boy, and also shout out to King Davis.
Yes.
Thank you very
in
much.
the building.
Shout out
So,
Caesar.
Andy Showman from Palm Grove, Lagos says, I love the
The Legend song.
from featuring Burna Boy. Palm Wine Music 2 is really a good project.
Okay, Ugo from Ikorodu says, SGC in the studio. My God, I love you guys so much. You guys are too good, says Ugo. It's all right. Cruz says, O'Shea SDC, that gyration by Sajam and Baba James. You and Duvet music, Sha.
Tell me, is it me?
Yes, you.
No, me now.
It's you.
It's Val.
It's
It was
always
Val,
you.
man.
Who else is Baba James?
Big E from Katie says, Fumbi with the magic, Fumbi with the rhythm, and Funky Fumbi with the vibe. This is the kind of song I want Smooth to play every night so I can get down with who?
With who?
We're just going to miss that name out of
I
that.
think it was a typo error.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Cruz here is loving Mist and Jeff's jingle. I think
Yes.
they set it up.
Yeah, we did.
For the fact that they're not coming on.
That's a delicious setup though. We really like it. Okay, so we've done brand new music. Just before we move on from it, I do want to ask Tech on the record because I was asking him, this is why you should go and just watch our YouTube stream. Are there videos that we can expect coming out from Palm Wine Music 2 anytime soon?
Yes, so we have a lot of videos coming up. We're about to shoot a video for Tropicana with Flash, Legend with Burna Boy, and Damilon with Borge and Ajay Botta. We kind of left it open to the fans, told them to poll and let us know which videos they wanted first, and those were the 3 that got the highest response.
Okay, cool.
Twitter.
So, based as a fan, let me just say that this Legend video, based as a legend and a
Yes,
fan, let me
yes.
I'll just be around just to help the video
I think,
the way that it's supposed to
I
be.
think
Or
it's
it's
only
still
right because
Still
like
roll.
I think it's only right because I saw you in one of the first Burna Boy videos.
The first, yeah,
the
that's
first
true,
video,
that's
so I think it's only
true.
full circle.
It is full circle at that point.
Oh, really? What video is
I was in
that?
that video as well.
What video is
that? Like to party.
I have to go and look at it
You
again.
should. Which means you also need to look at Adore Her, which you love, which
Yes.
King Davis shot, which I was also.
No, that
curious.
one's very,
Yeah.
very, yeah.
You see how
Oh,
you have
yes.
the presence of
That one she was a
legends?
leader. on that one she was a leader.
Okay, let's keep it moving. We've got entertainment news to get into very quickly. We've been having a lot of visits in Nigeria recently, in Lagos specifically. It's no surprise that people are touting Lagos as West Africa's cultural hub. Dare we say that? I think we dare. I just said it. Most recently, Naomi Campbell is back in town because clearly she's a Lagos girl. You know, her brother Weezy's here. But she was seen taking photos with Don Jazzy. We also have Kende Wiley's in town as well. There are a few people that have just been hanging around, and
Prince Charles?
we're coming to him. You know, it's a separate story we have to
right.
address.
Okay.
But first, with just Sister Naomi, I don't know, guys, your thoughts in general of what's
I
happening.
saw a picture that that was put up of her, Don Jazzy, and Mr. Animashal. And I said, please help me give her a Nigerian name at this point because
Yes.
I've been waiting for her to come home since.
What should we call it?
Exactly. What would
So
you
I'm thinking
suggest?
maybe Bosse, one of
Maybe
those.
maybe Neka.
Or Fumi?
Just something,
we'll
just to give her
figure out.
something.
We have to
Mm.
christen
You know
her.
how Nigerians pronounce
Give her a passport
Naomi,
as well.
right?
How?
Naomi.
It's Naomi now. I think it's Naomi.
Naomi, I know.
Sister
If you say
Naomi.
Naomi Campbell, I'll be like, Naomi, how do you spell that? Naomi, we know that one.
Nene.
Sister Nene.
Uh-huh.
I like
Better.
it. That's who she is
We
now.
got it.
Exactly.
But just a quick question. I
Time for
want to
the
ask
win.
how do we start leveraging off of what feels bit like, you know, cultural tourism, I want to say appropriation, but you know, people Nigeria is hot right now, being African, Tech, you comment because he's looking sideways like, but how do we who are creating the culture are part of this in reality and what it actually means to be African, how do we leverage off of this attention that we are getting globally?
I think it's a tough one, really. It shouldn't have been, but
Shouldn't have been
Be-
what?
it shouldn't have been a tough one.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? If you create a structure, create that avenue where even when these people come, because I just feel like they come in and they just leave, you know. But what's the message that they're taking back? What do we have on ground for them to actually take home? Why do we go there? Why are we freaked when we go there? Why do we want to be on the red carpet or the Grammys or wherever? You know, because really, which is why I said it shouldn't have been a tough one. If we have that structure, if we have of this on ground here, we won't be asking this question at all. Just know they're here because we are going to. But they just come in and they just leave, and we don't have anything to even. Well, it's just a selfie pictures.
Maybe we need a really, really, really great award show. So if they are coming, they're coming within that context, and so in a way, they're also selling some of our artists as well.
Yes.
So yeah, I think the issue would be like, what can we set up? But not really clearly. I mean, I feel like I have an issue with the issue of cultural tourism, you know. But if you set up something like a clear, like I said, then an award show. Like
it's
this they used to do with
staple.
those bigs.
Okay.
These they used to have that thing that they do.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. And then you have, so there's a structure there, and then you have media people like cover this.
Yeah.
I think there's a sense in which international media too be interested in that.
Okay.
I mean, Kim Kardashian was here. If you,
Please,
Let's not exactly. Yeah, please. Let's not do that. Let's not
we
do
don't
that.
really have to wait for the awards and these events. I mean, look, we have the shrine there. You know, we need to have those things on ground. That,
I
you know,
feel,
places
I
that they
feel,
will
I feel,
come
that's-
visit
I
and
mean, I
stuff.
feel Shrine has been making their money. It's the rest of us that were
We're just-
confused.
Of course.
Exactly.
But Tech, any comments on that? Considering you know I was going to come to you.
Yeah, no, but I'm the worst person to speak on this because I feel that number one, like Africa influences black culture, which
Yes.
in turn influences global culture
Yes.
in terms of everything from fashion to even Kim Kardashian you mentioned selling you back your own body. So for me, I think that like it's,
That's an interesting.
like, I think that I literally think that like they take that it's a thing where a lot of things are taken. They'll sell you Ghana must go bag and tell you it's fashion and you buy it because it's coming from the West. And I think that we need to somehow, I don't know what cultural consciousness shift we need to get away from to say that we need to start looking at our own things and praising our own things and pushing our own things. Part of the reason, not to even plug ourselves, but part of the reason we're doing palm wine music is just because we've supported champagne, we've supported
Make
every
palm wine
brand.
great again.
Yes.
Yeah, supported every brand from outside. So it's like, okay, how do we figure out something that is our own and try and push that out? And initially when we started doing, you hear, well, UK guys, what kind of local thing is this?
Yeah.
But in the end, like you have to start embracing your own before you can even get
See,
anywhere.
that's an important thing to say because then what now goes round? For instance, I would ask now, what exactly has Show Them Camp gotten as a cultural reward for that?
I think that for me, what I look for, to be very honest with you, my own reward is just being able to shift consciousness. That's all I'm doing. So with everything, like like from the shirt side, wear to the thoughts, like is to even if it's just one small trigger, one small emotional trigger, I'm good with that because I don't really look to anybody here to reward me. I think that the big awards that you're talking about, not to even jump into your next topic, but I think as a continent we have a bit of like Stockholm syndrome. And we are looking for validation from the same
Exactly.
people that destroyed all our methods of
So let's
validation.
talk about how the Prince visited. That's what we're going to do. So Prince Charles was in town recently and quite a few people were out to see him. Let me just first put a disclaimer. If they invited me, I would have gone. I was not invited.
Folu, you should have gone. But that's you.
No, that's okay. It's all right. It's all right. We'll come to that. But Nigerians, we do feel very prideful about a number of things. We like to feel that we're strong in our tradition, a treatment and honor of royals. But when Prince Charles and his wife, the Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla, visited recently, were outraged to see our traditional rulers seated a few seats behind Charles. There were several comments made. Eromo, who I do actually follow on Twitter, says there's a Benin saying, Oba no de go transfer.
Oba no dey
So
go transfer.
figuratively, it means he's a king in life and death, he can't die. And equivalent of first law of thermodynamics, what is matter is neither created nor destroyed. But the literal meaning is he doesn't leave his throne, especially not to go sit behind a prince, he says. Sam Hart also said a lot of things are irksome about this picture. We are no longer a British colony, so we are not beholden to the crown. Why would our first traditional rulers be herded to Abuja for a sighting by the next in line? Why is his seat visibly further forward than the others? Why? Is this really an issue? Is it problematic? Or
It's an issue, please.
okay, please, as a Benin, please go ahead. Or speak your mind.
No. This is really, really annoying because I'm from Edo State, so
Okay,
there's a
that's how he
sense.
beats his chest. I like you people. You're proud. Do it.
Exactly. We have this culture. We believe that, in fact, next to God is the king. So for somebody of that stature to I don't know, sit behind. I mean, the first thing I like the verb. What's his name? Sam Hart used headed.
Yes.
Technically, that's what it is. That's what this is. To go and sit behind a prince.
I mean,
I don't know.
if that happened in Benin Kingdom,
It would not happen in Benin Kingdom.
It would not. No, there's no way to happen.
It
in
just
Benin
wouldn't
Kingdom.
actually.
so what makes it different that it's another land? Like it's not even it's the same Nigeria, right?
Look. We have a kingdom. It's called Benin. It's not called Nigeria. You understand? It is not. See,
does the same
the country
law-
is a colonial construct. The kingdom is not.
So the same law does not apply now.
No, it does not apply. It shouldn't even have gone. Honestly, that's what I feel.
Okay.
And I think in Benin people will be spinning all over the place at the moment.
I think so. It's I think the only thing that I saw in this entire thing, the only thing that resonated with me was the fact that the Oba of Benin asked for Prince Charles to return the artifacts back to Nigeria
Yes.
that have been taken. You
Yeah.
know, so everything else, as far as I'm concerned, that's all politics, and that's all, like you said, is a colonial construct. And as a result, like the people, whether subconsciously or consciously, are still observing a lot of colonial stigma, especially like that. But the important thing is that they begin to return some of the things that were taken.
No, but
Also,
you know,
we begin to return to some of the things that were taken. Yeah.
that's it. That's
important.
valid. You know
Although the
what I
British-
think is all of these are related.
Okay.
So if, in a sense, they believe they will come here and get this kind of treatment, what exactly? Why wouldn't they say they want to loan us back what we
Yes,
own?
because I was going to say, because they're not
You
even
understand
saying
exactly?
giving us. They're
Yeah,
saying,
they are
"Well,
loaning
well,
it.
we'll
You
loan
know.
it to
So
you."
there's an issue of like, if you respect yourself, maybe you can now demand that respect.
Yeah. But Nigeria is a Commonwealth country, and Commonwealth countries are
Yes.
pretty much countries that were. I don't even know the word.
Yeah, then that is
Fine.
Buhari. Then that should be Buhari,
That is
not
the
the
polite
king.
word.
That's Buhari. That's
Well,
Buhari,
that's
not the
that's
king.
polite word. but-
Buhari and the king, they're all in government. So.
But
Yeah,
that's,
exactly.
Ah,
but
no,
that's
it's a
interesting
different
to note
space.
that we actually don't have a photograph where our president is sat behind the
There you
prince.
go.
And I think that does say something, actually. Because for all his faults, our president is his
But
own
then,
person.
Exactly,
at the
right?
same time, not to play devil's advocate, but at the same time, before anybody wants to get elected as president of Nigeria, why do they have to go to England and pay their respect? It's not.
And they meet with
like-
other world leaders.
That's
Ours did
interesting.
as well. We
Yeah.
flew everywhere.
Yeah,
Very
like
true.
because at the end of the day, like there's still a lot of economic value for Britain and
Yeah.
Nigeria, and they're still here, and they've always still.
Yeah, that's
been
more
there.
like trade. That's more like trade partners.
All right. Are we
I don't know about partners.
Partner
I
implies.
think,
Let's,
Or what?
let's just stir away from this whirlpool of a conversation.
Yes,
Thank you
please,
very
yes,
much.
please.
Up next, I do want to praise, or I do want to say a big congratulations to Kemi Adesiba. I've been talking about King of Boys. Some people in this room have still not seen King of Boys. I'm going to tell you what the storyline of King of Boys is.
Name names, please. Who are these people?
Yes,
No.
people like Valentine are trying to hide himself. Tech, have you seen King of Boys?
Not yet.
You're involved
Ah,
as
man,
well.
these
Okay,
guys.
You're all part of the
But I'm
problem.
going
It's
to.
fine.
I'm going to. Shout
But
out.
You guys support the culture.
It's a story of a woman called Haja Eniola Salami. She's a businesswoman, a philanthropist. She's got a bit of a dodgy past, a promising political
It's
future.
the present, actually.
But she's looked at as a pillar of society, loved by many, and you discover feared by even more. But there is this sort of cunning, ruthless insider that's decided, you know what, I'm going to take everything you have. So Kemi has created this very interesting gangster epic. And she's also just turned it into gold, apparently. It had the biggest opening week for a non-comedy Nollywood film, which is huge because we know that all the big numbers have been hit by the comedians. And it's the highest opening week of a Nollywood film this year. It is also the second highest opening by a female director. And please do note that Kemi Adetiba has both the first and second as well.
Wow.
I think that's pretty important.
What
to talk
first and
about
second?
culture of opening week of a Nollywood film and opening week by a female director.
Shout out Kemi Adesiba, man. She's
Yeah.
an amazing Nollywood director. She's an amazing director. Let me not say Nollywood director. She's an amazing director. And I'm sure King of Boys. I've been just like, because of being promoting this album, I haven't had the time to. I'm going, you know.
Yeah, so you really.
sometimes
We can get some.